Hey, my name is Renika Rogers, and I will be talking about the pros and cons of policies that ban toys such as toy guns, dinosaur, army toys, or other toys that could be considered violent for children. So I'm gonna go over the cons because I found there are a few cons. So the first con is that it desensitizes children to violence of these policies. The second con of these policies is that it it doesn't give children, it takes away from children imagination. And the third con is there's no research or data that shows that children who actually play with these type of toys grow up to be violent adults. The only pro that I was able to really find was that it's less exposure to it. These policies allow less exposure for children to violence. So children are, by banning these things, they're limiting the amount of violent things that the children are exposed to. So just looking at the pros and the cons. So my input on it is that guns are not the gun don't do the violence. It's the person with the gun that does the violence. So you have to take into consideration the person mind frame who has the gun. Or another thing is you have to teach children what's appropriate when it comes to guns. Oh no, it's not appropriate to point it at anyone. It's not appropriate to shoot anyone in it. Oh, but it is appropriate to go hunting. It's appropriate to do these things. So you have to make sure that you're explaining to children what's acceptable for reason to use a gun and what's a non-acceptable way to use a gun. Also, for me, taking away toy guns or banning these things is not giving us the opportunity to interact with our children about guns. So if we're not exposing them to this, then we're not giving them the information for them to be safe. For instance, my children, I explain to them we do own guns, and I explain to them this is a gun, this is what you do with it, and this is what you don't do with it. Even a fake gun, when my nephews or anything they're playing with fake guns, I let them know, hey, this is what you do and this is what you don't do. So I'm giving them the opportunity to use a fake gun, but I'm giving them realistic scenarios of how to use it and how not to use it. So I think taking those opportunities, when we take those opportunities away, we're lessening the opportunities for those teachable moments. And again, there's no research that's saying that, oh, if he plays with toy guns now, he's gonna grow up and he's gonna use it to shoot a lot of people. He's gonna use it inappropriately. It's a lot of people that have grown up with guns that know how to use them appropriately. But I think our main concern don't need to be focused on banning toy guns or anything that may seem violent. We need to look more into mental health and making sure that we're providing the correct amount of support with people with mental health conditions, and also making sure that we're identifying these things as early as possible and put more policies in place that allow family members to intervene when a person is are showing signs that they may be having some type of mental health crisis, but because they hadn't been a harm to themselves right off or a harm to others, that there's nothing that that they can do about it because it's violating the person's rights. I think that that's what we really need to be putting the focus at, beside, instead of focusing on banning toy guns. We need to put more focus in mental health, and really how to help people that have mental health issues, because a lot of these gun violence are carried out by people who have shown exhibited mental health issues, but there wasn't any intervention in time to stop these things. So again, with those cons and that one pro that I was able to find, that it lessens their exposure to violence, which I do agree with to some extent. But if a child is around violence 24/7, it is really not a whole lot of benefit there to ban them.